Thank you for joining me tonight. I just like to know, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell me what your background about racing and how long have you been with your spouse so far?
Okay, I'm Jenn Gregus Henderson. I'm with Bert Henderson, and we've been together for 10 racing seasons. Um, so basically, that's my start to boat racing was about 10 years ago.
I'm Cinnamon Hofhine. I've been with Kent for 7 years now, but he was 2.5 stock when we met, and now we're in the H350 class, 777. And I've been around racing before when I was a kid, so it's great to still be in it.
And I'm Erin Norton. I am the fiance of Doug Rapp, and this is our going into our third year together, and haven't been in racing until I met him. So it was an exciting adventure so far.
I guess during the season it's different than the winter season. For you, Jen, since Berta is a boat builder, it's different. How do you cope with the family life with them?
Well, I'm basically around boat racers all the time and around boat racing all the time. I live it basically 365 days a year, especially at a lot of family events.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rubbing going on with regards to boat racing, and then obviously there's a ton of phone calls at nighttime, on weekends, on holidays. Our anniversary is tomorrow at a boat race, so everything in our life basically revolves around boat racing.
Now you all have kids or step kids.
Yep.
Do they love it, or what in the future do you think they will be involved in the sport?
Well, my stepson Owen is now 14 years old. He's been running J Hydro for a few years now. He's now into the A, I think it is, an AX, and he's completely obsessed. He's known it. I've been around since he was 4 years old, and basically that's been his passion. That's what he wants to talk about to Bert. That's his bond with his father, and I think I can see him in it.
Colin, our 4-year-old, definitely loves boat racing. He knows more drivers than I do. And if he wants to pursue it when he's old enough, we'll support him and do whatever we can to make sure he can be happy and competing.
Well, Mia's only almost 11 months old, but she does love being here. She loves seeing the boats go out. She waves to them as they go by. And I feel like has a need for speed. So I think if it is boat racing, then I think she's going to really enjoy it, which is a little scary, but she's a lot like her dad, so could be.
When your spouse goes on the water, are you the type of girl that are scared, nervous, or you're just relaxed, or how, how do you feel about it?
I definitely get a little nervous, but I know Doug's a smart driver. He drives with his head, and he's going to make the right decisions. And I know he wants to win, but I know he's smart about it. So I get nervous, but I trust him, so I can relax a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, that's important, is to just relax when they're out there and try not to panic if something does happen, because they've flipped in front of us before. So it's just important that they come back in safe.
I can say that I tend to get a little bit nervous. The guts get uneasy, and I do probably my own little thing. Sometimes I go off by myself, or kind of talk them through the race sometimes. But I mean, it's been quite a few years of some traumatic events in boat racing for Bert, so at least he's come out on top of everything, and I'm excited when he's out there. It's exciting. I'm excited for everyone that's out there. I mean, boat racing is such a big family that you care about all the racers. If anything happens, your heart really goes out to them. And obviously I have family, my two brother-in-laws in it out here too, so
Yeah, all our eggs in one basket.
yeah.
Pretty much.
First time they flipped or they had an incident, How did you react?
I think the first time Kent flipped in front of me, it was in his 2.5. And he was coming in the first turn, I think it was Tonawanda, and then it went right over, and Jenn immediately, because we were standing on the dock, and she's like, he's okay, and I was like, I can't believe that just happened. And then he flipped this year in Brockville in another in a formula boat, and I didn't know it was him, so it was probably a good thing. And then when I did realize it was him, it was like, okay, don't panic again, and just make sure he's okay. And then he went out and won the next heat in his 350 boat, so I couldn't have been banged up too badly. He was a little sore though afterwards.
We thought it was a flip, but it wasn't him. He spun out, but that was still, not being able to see and not knowing what was going on was definitely pretty scary. But it's, the whole racing family is amazing, and they're always, there's always somebody to step in and be like, it is okay, and they're going to be okay, and just, kind of talk you through it when your head is running through a million different things that could have happened. And you always, they're letting you know they're going to be okay and it's going to be fine. So I'm hoping I don't see it again, but.
And for me, Bert's was his first accident when I was there was in St-Felicien a few years ago. And all I saw was boat pieces everywhere from across the course, and at the speed they're going, I just thought, whoa. And I remember, actually it was Julie, she tried to help me decipher what was going on because it was coming out in French, and being English it was difficult. And being a nurse, I think sometimes you just kind of go into nurse mode, and everything, especially even last weekend, it's like an out-of-body experience that's going on, and then you come down, you go, you regroup, you resettle, and say last weekend I was with Bert and his son, and we just kind of were sitting there, and that's when it hits you. It hits after the race is over usually. But I mean, it's when you know they're okay, you're much better with it all.
On a different note, do they have habits or ritual that they do before a race, or a couple of what they do before?
I think Kent just pretty much likes to sit in his seat and just have some time for silence, and maybe just kind of focus on the course and triple check everything, make sure it works. Sometimes his hands get a little shaky when he's getting ready, but other than that, that's his routine.
Kind of the same. Doug, he always gives me a kiss before he gets in the boat, but he has that moment once he's in the boat of just zoning, taking it all in, and getting his head ready for the race, and that's about it.
Bert usually gets pretty quiet before a race, usually ends up in the back of the truck, vegging out, and then before he gets into the boat, usually I'll go find him and give him a good luck kiss, and we always say, see you later, and I give him a little pat on the butt, and he goes into the boat and then has a ritual with his sidekick there, Sam, who's been with him since I think 1996 or something crazy, but they do their little thing, and he definitely plays the race out in his head before he goes out there.
I hear that some teams, they have kind of a special moment together, or is there anything like that in their teams or something?
For our team, for the Steeler team, Mike Endries, who's the crew chief, will oftentimes gather a team meeting, and they'll shut the back of the truck up and kind of go with their game plan. And there's also a little duck that sits on top of the right sponson of the Steeler before the races, and then he usually ends up either in the truck or on the little seat of the moped on the front of the bike, so they have their little thing.
I think it's pretty basic with with Kent. I don't. There's nothing really you know, I think he really just wants to just make sure everything's done and ready to go, and then he'll probably bebop around and chat with other people, and then when it's time to go, it's time to go. Yeah, nothing huge.
Kind of the same. The triple check on the boat, make sure the plugs are in, that whole, carb covers off, and but nothing big.
Thank you very much, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
you in the next couple of years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.